Welcome in. It's the Gary Ivins Podcast here on KSFA 860 and KSFA860.com. As always, we're brought to you up in here by What a Burger. What a Burger, bringing you the Big Nasty Podcast on KSFA 860 and KSFA860.com. Appreciate you being here with us. It is a Wednesday, the Wednesday edition, big NBA game tonight. Spurs will try to take a 2-game lead in that one as they play host to the Oklahoma City Thunder. We'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. Of course, Tuesday night, it was done. It wasn't done, but it got done, and it goes back to my philosophy. It's not in baseball, no more or less, definitely not in football. But in basketball, if you got the best player on the court, you have a better than 50% chance of winning. While I think top to bottom roster-wise, Indiana's got the best roster, there is no question in my mind who's got the best player, and quite possibly, even at age 33, Dwayne Wade could be the second best player. LeBron James is the best player on the court. He had 11 points going into the fourth quarter. He ends up with 22. Dwayne Wade scores 9 points in the fourth quarter. They get a couple of big threes as well from Mario Chalmers early in the game. Chris Birdman Anderson pulls down 10 boards plus 20. And I told you, game one, I thought two things would have to change. They'd have to put Adonis Haslam in the starting lineup, and Chris Anderson would come in, and you're not going to see a lot of Shane Battier. Well, and I said the combined minutes, would be close to 50. Chris Anderson, 29. Adonis Haslam, 19. They played 30 minutes in the first game, a loss. They played 50 minutes, essentially in the second game, and a win. Shane Battier only gets 8 points. It's not that they're better. It's matchups. They got to have some toughness inside, and that's what Adonis Haslam and that's what Chris Anderson bring to the table, toughness. And so with that, it still came down to the wire, but there was that little stretch there when it was 75-75. Miami scored about 6 straight points, and they didn't look back, 87-83. They evened the series up at 1-1. Stevenson played well, but Paul George, who went off in game one, 4 of 16 in game two. He and David West had 52 points in the first game. They scored 24 in the second game on a combined 9 of 32 shooting. But I still go to free throws. 37 free throws in game one for Indiana, only 15 in game two. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. That, my friends, had a little bit to do with it. So 1-1 game three. Boy, you have to take a little time off. Game three will not be till Saturday night on ESPN. In this series, they'll be back down in South Beach for this one. Of course, tonight, you've got a big one. ESPN's got the coverage, and it is going to be the Spurs playing host to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I kind of went into this. I think Oklahoma City's in trouble. Now, they'll play better tonight. We're getting 6 points, and I'm going to take Oklahoma City plus the 6, but I'm going to tell you, they don't have an inside presence. I told you the stats. Tim Duncan, on the 4 games in the regular season, never scored over 17. Never had over 11 rebounds. He went 27 points and 11 rebounds in game one with no Serge Ibaka. Serge Ibaka averaged 15 points, 12 boards, and 4 blocks in his 4 games, all 4 wins, and he controlled the middle. The Spurs scored 66 points in the middle Monday night, in that game, and I think they will pound the paint again tonight. I look for Duncan to have a big game. It looks like Tony Parker are as healthy, and I think they're going to win. Now, the 6 points is what comes into reality here, and as for our Bud Light projected winner tonight, we are going with the Oklahoma City Thunder plus 6. Desperation mode is what I like to call it. They know they need a W. Can they get it? That's another thought process, but they had some time to adjust without Serge Ibaka. I just don't think Perkins and these guys are going to be able to come in and help out. I still think Spurs go up 2-0, but we're going to take the plus 6 points. So we're here on a Wednesday. Tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, you guys that know me know I love bringing you high school baseball. I just love the whole setup of baseball overall. But tomorrow night, we've got playoff baseball over on Q1077. The Douglas Indians, the number 1 team in the state, will be going for a regional semifinal championship against Harleton. It'll be a 2 out of 3 game set. Game 1 is Thursday night at 6 o'clock. That is in Kilgore. Game 2 Friday night, and that'll be at 5 o'clock in Kilgore. And if there's a third game needed, it'll be immediately following that one on Friday. So Douglas and Harleton, the other semifinal matchup between in Region 3 of Class 1A baseball, has got number 2 Evadale and number 4 Carlisle Price Carlisle, the defending state champions, won the flip. And Friday night at 6:30 right here in Lufkin at Morris Frank Park, they will play a one-game series to see who gets to the regional championship. Hello, darling. I'll update you on that game as we go through our broadcast with Douglas and Harleton. So that'll all be going on tomorrow or Thursday and Friday. The rest of it's got Central Heights and Salado. Central Heights will be playing over in Franklin starting on Friday night. Garrison playing Troy. Those two teams out of the same district. That'll be at A&M Consolidated starting Friday at 7 and Saturday at 4. So we certainly want to wish Garrison, Central Heights, obviously Douglas, these area teams, the best of luck this weekend. Carthage, who got beat out by Caldwell last weekend, their season obviously has come to an end. In the 5A ranks, 13-5A, both co-champions are still rolling. Atascocita will play Rockwall Heath this weekend, and Klein Collins will play Plano. Both of them went 11-1 in district competition. They are 2 wins away. It's 2 out of 3 set. 2 wins away from meeting in the regional championship to see who goes to Round Rock. That'll be some good stuff in that series. And, of course, on the softball side of things, Grapeland, the Sandyettes are trying to get back to Austin. They'll play Harleton, and that'll be a one-game series set as well Friday night, 6:30, all the way up in Lindale. Number 1 Woodlands as well going for a berth at the state tournament. They are playing Rockwall, 3-game set starting on Thursday as well. Now, as I told you, the NFL out in Vegas, we'll talk some NFL. We always talk NFL every day. Bud Light brings you all that talk as always. Keep that Yeti cooler full of Bud Light. They give out those NFL win totals for each season, and we kind of went over that yesterday. But you can also go in here and you can look at who they project with the highest win totals, and they can tell you who they think will be. It's not a coincidence that it comes out after the draft. They know the top 2 players that you draft in the draft probably going to help. You could get a surprise out of the other ones. Okay, I'm not saying you won't, but for the most part, they're setting win totals essentially by who you drafted on the first 2, maybe 3 rounds of the draft. And then they put out these win totals. Well, you can look at that and see who Vegas thinks is going to win the division. And it's pretty evident that they think Denver's going to win the West, 3-game better prediction than anyone else. In the East, in the AFC, New England 10.5. The next closest team is Miami with 8, so 2.5 to the good there. So they think New England's going to win the division. Indianapolis 9.5 win total. Their next closest competition is Tennessee and Houston at 7. So a 2-game lead there. They're pretty confident Indianapolis going to win the division. The North, they don't know. They're giving Cincinnati 9 wins, but they've also got Baltimore and Pittsburgh projected at 8.5. So they're not sure there. Also, wild card, they've got both Baltimore and Pittsburgh projected on the win totals anyway to make it. But after that, they're really telling us Kansas City, San Diego, and Miami are projected to win 8 games. They're giving them a shot. After that, Tennessee, Houston, Jets, maybe a little bit at 7. Cleveland, Buffalo down to 6. Oakland at 5, and Jacksonville 4.5. No chance, say la vie. Look forward to next year. But over on the NFC, and you go to that number, 7.5 wins and 9.5 wins, only 7 of the 16 AFC teams are projected to win 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, 9.5, which means I've got in this situation 2 teams that they think are going to blow out their division, and then I've got another 7 teams which they don't like at all. And that's down to Tennessee, Houston, Jets, Cleveland, Buffalo, Oakland, and Jacksonville. Look at on the NFC side of things. What are they sure of? Well, they're sure Seattle's going to be good, 11 wins. They're sure Jacksonville's going to be good, 10.5 wins. Okay? Right now, Jacksonville's the first playoff team. But still, you got 2 teams. They don't know who's going to win the West, but they think it's going to come down to them. Let's go to the East. Philadelphia's picked for 9 wins. They've got the most. But you've got Dallas at 8. You got the Giants at 7.5 and Washington at 7.5. So they really don't know. How about the South? New Orleans 9.5. They're pretty sure, but you still got Carolina with 8. You got Atlanta with 8, and even Tampa Bay with 7.5. It's spooky. How about Green Bay? Well, they like Green Bay. They're giving them 10 wins, right? Detroit 8. Chicago 8. Minnesota's the lowest team, and they're at 6. My point of the story is 11 of the 16 NFC teams are projected to win between 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9, or 9.5 games out in Vegas. They don't know. They have no freaking clue. All they're telling us that we know, they like Seattle, San Fran, and Green Bay to make the playoffs. Outside of that, man, get the dartboard out, chuck a couple of darts, and see if you can get lucky. It's going to be a fun NFL season. Second Thursday in September, we can get her on. Also, last night, Tuesday night, the draft came, or the NBA draft lottery came up, and boy, how about the those crazy, and I do say crazy, Cleveland Cavaliers. They go from a 1.9% chance of winning it all, and they got it. So Cleveland will get the number one pick 3 out of the last 4 years. They butchered it up the other last year with Anthony Bennett. But, boy, Kyrie Irving 2 years ago. Dion Waiters the year and before that, not so much, but we'll see how it goes. But, yes, Cleveland last night gets it. They get the number one pick. Milwaukee moves down to 2, Philadelphia to 3, and so on and so on and so on. So that's what you have right there. That's going to pretty much wrap it up here for our podcast here on KSFA 860 and KSFA860.com. We're always brought to you by Whataburger. There's locations everywhere. Whataburger bringing you the Big Nasty Podcast here each and every weekday. I hope you enjoy. If you ever want to get in touch with us, drop me an email. You know where that's at, Gary@Q1077.com, Gary@Q1077.com. And don't forget, Thursday night, I hope my boys will be feeling pretty good. We will be in Kilgore. It'll be Carthage, it'll be our Douglas Indians, the number one team in the state. That is correct. Taking on Harleton. We'll have it for you. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock on Q1077. Guys, appreciate you being here. I'll be live with you in the morning at 5 a.m. on KSFA 860. Hope you can tune me in. Thanks for being here. You guys keep it real. Enjoy your Hump Day Wednesday. I will see you 5 a.m. bright and early in the morning here on KSFA 860.
Closing time. Turn all of the lights on over every boy and every girl.